Yo, how's it going, guys? Welcome back to my fourth React Native video. Today we'll be looking at how I managed to make the chat screen here. So as you could see, like this loads up the conversation between two people. So one could send like texts, or one could send like audio recordings. Record straight from this icon. You just can press this, and after recording you will just have to release this, and that will be after pressing this icon, this will what do you call send the audio recording to this person. And so the same, so also you could send like photos straight taken straight up from your camera, or you could just load up your gallery and select a photo. And yeah, so let's see so how I managed to achieve those things. So first of all, I have made like a safe area view to avoid like any notch from the phone or any physical designs, and avoid any physical design that would affect the UI. And after that, I have used like a native base provider. I have used like a native base provider JSX component to start using the native base components, and I have given like a nice background gradient by using linear gradient component. And for the first row, I have loaded up the current user profile picture and the user profile icon that would belong to the person who would be starting the conversation with you. So if you are the sender here, this is the receiver's icon, and for the and this would be your name, and this would be the receiver's name. And so all of these is coded within a horizontal stack, and I have used justify content space between to divide them into two equal parts and generate space between them evenly. So I have given like a margin top 2 space units and some couple of alignments like justify content, flex start, and align items flex end for the horizontal stack and the vertical stack. And yeah, so as you would see, like after generating the first row, I have used vertical stack to generate chat components, and all of these are generated within a flat list. So as for the data, I have passed a state variable called chat history, as you could see here, the chat history. And as for rendering the UI, I have passed chat item function to render item function, render item prop. and this is the UI responsible for generating each and every individual chat component. So basically this checks for like two conditions: if the chat contains an image, or if the chat contains any audio, or if the chat contains so that's like the basic two main conditions. And as you could see, like you would also send like a caption with an audio recording, or a caption with a picture. So after you have checked if the chat contains an image or an audio clip, as for the then it would check if it has a message or a caption, basically a caption. So this is what I have done here. So if this checks if this has a if the chat contains a message, if so, this generates a text component, or else this would generate an empty component. So because I have given like a horizontal stack, because it doesn't occupy any space while rendering the UI. So this would just mean this is empty. And yeah, so each component contains a pressable which would download the item. So as you can see here, so this is the function that is responsible for downloading image. So if you click here, this image will be downloaded to your gallery. And so same goes to, for this function. So this function also downloads any audio file sent to you by the other user, or the audio file sent by you. So that's how you like download the audio clips or pictures shared in this conversation. And yeah, so okay, I want to mention you something that so if so as you would see, like this side, the left side contains all the components sent to you by let's say like Alexandra Borges. So this site contains all the components sent to you by Alexandra Borges, and this site contains all the component. This site contains all the chat components sent to Alexandra Borges by Sayuri Ratnayake. So the background, so if the components are sent to you by Alexandra Borges, this text like the background would be black in color, and the text the text color would be, the font color would be white. And if these components were sent by you to Alexandra Borges. The background would be in blue color, and the font color would be in black. And yeah, so also here, like you could see like the time period this chat these messages that all the components were sent, where the components shared between two people. And yeah, so that's like uh, basic explanation for for the UI responsible for generating all the chat. And now we can look at this part here. So here you could see like a main input element and a touchable highlight icon. So this icon, so you could send type like a message here. So you could send like a type like message here, and we just click here. This message would be sent. Message will be sent. And so input is a native based component. So here you could say give pass props like height, color, width, and border radius to style this. And so for I have specified a prop called input right element to make these two elements inside to make these two elements inside this input component. And yeah, so as you could see, like I have also used a native based component called menu here. So this is the menu that is popped up. That this is the menu, and I have used like to specify items here. I have used menu.item component and on press. So for example, by pressing this item here, I want to open up the camera, device camera. So I have mentioned, I have passed like on press prop here. So I have passed open camera function to on press component here, on press prop here. So on open camera, so the device camera would be opened up. And so okay, I think I don't have time enough to explain this. So same goes so if this menu item is pressed here, open gallery function would start. And yeah, so okay. So also here I have used, so I want to use view another component, another icon here. So inside this input component, other than this file clip. So here I have used like a trigger prop to do that, and I have given an icon here. So and mm, 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 mm. Okay, now let's move on to the send message function here. So by clicking this icon here, you can just send a message. So this is the function responsible for that. There are like a lot of things I want to mention, but I just don't have enough time to be explaining all of this. And so I have temporarily like stored text in text typed here, or audio recordings recorded here, or any images selected here as state variables, and I have passed those state variables to this location. Also I have passed like the users who are user who are sending this message, these components, and the user who is supposed to receive those components. So I have sent all these things to send chat PHP file. And yeah, so this is the backend code responsible for saving a chat. And basically this checks if an image is sent. So if an image is sent, this first of all moves the image to the chat images, this folder, and after that this the location would be saved to database here by this, and then the ID of this would be saved to this saved to the chat table in the database. So that's that. And so if the user haven't sent any images, then the server checks for any audio files. So if an audio file is sent to the server, first of all the audio file is moved to audio clips folder, as you could see here. All of these audio files are sent by users, by different users. So after moving the audio file to that location, the name of the basically the name of the file would be saved to the database, and that ID is, and a specific ID is given to that by the database, and that ID would be saved to the chat table. Okay, so or else, so if the chat contains if the chat doesn't contain any image or audio file, that means that chat should contain a text, and that text would be saved to the database. Okay. Okay, I think I need to explain to you more about the ID here, about the ID generated here. So let me just show you how I do this. Okay, so this is the location that I'm talking about. So if if this is a image, if you need to like send an image to another person, first of all, the image, a temporary object containing like the details of the image is sent to the server first, and then that file would be moved to the chat images folder, and that URL would be saved to this table here. And here we need to identify whether it is a image or not. So I have given like file type 1 here. So you could imagine what I have done for what I have done for what I have done if you were to send like a audio clip here. So like for image file type I have given like 1 here, and for audio clips I have given like 2. So you could define like any number of file types here. So if you were to send like PDF here, you could like define like file type ID to be 3, and yeah, you could done the same thing. And that's like for what that's like the backend code responsible for saving a chat. And now we'll be looking at how I load chat from like the server. So this function is called from the get-go without any onPress event. So since this contains this contains like a flat list to pass data into, this function would re-render like multiple times, and because this function re-renders multiple times, the all of the chat function would re-render multiple times. So to avoid that, not re-render, like this load chat function would recall like multiple times, and because of that this main chat function would re-render multiple times. And to avoid that, I have used like a hook called useEffect, and as the first parameter I have passed a function called start, and as for the second parameter I have passed an empty array. So that array is really important. So the reason that I have passed like a normal function here is that you can't pass async functions as a parameter, as the first parameter to useEffect. So instead I have passed a normal function, and after passing inside the normal function I have used setInterval to call load chat per every 5 seconds. And yeah, so that's that. And I have passed like the current user ID from the async storage. So, and as for the second parameter, I have passed the object that I have passed while navigating to the chat screen here. As you would see, like I have passed a key called ID under a key. I have passed a value called ID under the key, and that value is captured here by the syntax root.params.id. And yeah, so let's have a look at the load chat.php file. So here's the backend code responsible for loading up the chat. So the summary is that a JSON text would be echo here. So a JSON text would echo here, would be displayed here. Containing the chat components of all the users. So to make that JSON text, you need to make an array here, chat array here. So for chat array, we would be creating temporarily chat objects, and that chat objects would be passed as indexes here, passed as values here for the chat array. And yeah, so here as you could see, like this code checks so if the chat object, so I mean if the user have sent like an image here, this the image URL and the image location would be shared under the image key, and same goes for the audio, and same goes for same one would not go for the message here. So message is directly loaded from this column. And so this mentions the site that we talked about earlier. So that's that. And this is the function that is responsible for passing a custom time stamp for the chat. I think I don't have enough time. So thank you guys for watching. I hope to see you again next time. Peace.